Hello everybody and welcome to our channel. Today we're making Mexican Pozole. This is a must in Mexican cuisine, so stick to the end because if I can make this recipe, you should be able to do it too. Let's go for the ingredients.
We have 3 pounds of pork meat, and this recipe makes for around 4 to 6 servings in a 4.5-liter pot. We have 1 ancho chile, 5 guajillo chiles, a big tomato. We also have around 10 to 12 garlic cloves, 2 onions, 2 big onions. We also have bay leaves, around 10 to 12 as well. We also have oregano and whole pepper. But if you don't have whole pepper, crushed pepper will work just fine. It's not visible here, but we also gonna use some cumin, chicken bouillon. This is optional. Hominy. We are gonna use only 1 can. And table salt. This is pretty much it. I am using pork spare ribs and pork tail, and before starting I made sure to wash through the bones and meat to prevent from having any blood or debris from the cutting that they do at the store. And here I like to clean up the meat from any big nerves or big chunks of fat, so we can keep the most lean parts of the meat, and the rest goodbye.
For this recipe, I am using this hominy, which is already cooked or pre-cooked, so this is gonna save us a lot of time.
Now this is my 5 liters, around 5 liters pot, and I'm gonna just fill it up at around half of its capacity. And on the back burner I like to have warm or hot water always available, because every time that I need to put more water into our main pot, it'll be outsourced from here. We gotta make sure that the water that we add is always warm or hot. Now that we have our meat clean and ready and our water at around half boiling, we can add the meat to the pot and we're gonna start cooking it. Let's add the meat to the water and we're gonna let it sit there by itself while I am getting all the other ingredients ready for the broth. I'm not adding anything just yet, so basically I'm just gonna let it boil here by itself with the water, not even salt, not just yet. And like I said, the next step is to prepare the onions and the garlic just like so. This way I can make sure that the garlic and onions release all their flavor into our broth. Now that I have them ready, I'm gonna put them into our pot with the meat that is currently not boiling, but I left it at a medium temperature, so it's been cooking pretty much for around 25 to 30 minutes at this point. And I'm just gonna add the onions and the garlic for now. Also I'm gonna put the bay leaves and some salt. Salt is completely up to you. I like to rectify and to verify the flavor several times during the process, so don't freak out if you think like you put either too much or not enough. It is important to leave it at a low temperature because we want to cook it slow, so our bones and our ingredients will release all their flavor. Here I am making sure that everything is covered and cooking together, so we can just put the lid and let it cook for a good 1 to 2 hours. I also like to take a couple of minutes during the process to come and clean up my broth, so I'll not get any of that on my plate. So this is just me.
To prepare all the flavor for the pozole, we're gonna need our chiles and our tomatoes. So this is basically like preparing a salsa, but with a little bit of variations. Let's go ahead and do that.
You can call this salsa paste, flavor paste, but what we're gonna do here is to cut our chiles from half and remove all of the seeds and beans that are inside. All of these chiles will not make the broth spicy or anything like that. This is just for the flavor. These are good. Just make sure to remove all the seeds and beans, and after that we'll take it to the faucet to wash them from the outside and to remove all the remaining seeds. Now I didn't mention this, but I had the tomato already boiling for a good 10 to 15 minutes until they become softer, so that our blender will have an easier time processing them. I checked my broth and definitely needs more salt. Now I don't want to go crazy because we'll be adding our flavoring paste, which we're gonna be preparing now. So we're taking our tomato and our chiles out from the boiling water, and we're gonna proceed to put some water to blend them together. And this will be the time where we're gonna use the remaining of our ingredients. That means our garlic, around 4 cloves of garlic, our onion. I cut it into smaller pieces again to help out my blender to do the job. Here is where we're gonna add the whole peppercorns. If not, you can just put regular crushed pepper. Our oregano, cumin also. It was hidden underneath, so make sure to add your cumin. And we have chicken bouillon. This is optional. If you don't like to use chicken bouillon, feel free to just use table salt. And here I'm just gonna give it a good blend for around 3 to 5 minutes until you notice or see some uniform paste consistency. All right. On an extended pan, we're gonna add some oil to prevent our paste from sticking. I used olive oil. You can use the one you like the most, vegetable oil or whatnot. And then we'll use a strainer, and I will pan fry our paste at a low temperature. This takes some time also. Don't get desperate. Use some broth to make this task easier. The goal is to keep our paste uniform in consistency, okay? Again, like I said, this entire process takes time. Making pozole is no joke. It does take time in order to make it tasty and good. So don't get desperate. You need to budget with around 2 to 3 hours to make this a success. But guess what? Good news, we're almost done. So at this point we're gonna remove the onions and the garlic that we left there for our flavor. And at this point you can also remove the meat with the bones, and this way you can do several things. You can check for how the meat is cooked inside, and you can also, if you prefer, you can remove all the bones and just keep the meat and the fatty meat and put it back into the broth, so you'll not deal with any bones at all. In our home we like bones, so we don't really mind. Now this is one of the easiest parts of our entire recipe. We'll use a strainer to drain all of the liquid from the can, and I'm gonna just give a quick rinse to the hominy. After that I like it to let it sit and dry for some minutes as well, and then it's pretty much ready to incorporate it to our broth. We are so close to finish this recipe. Congratulations, we're almost done. You have to be proud of yourself because soon you're gonna have tasty pozole at home. We'll cover it and we'll let the hominy to fully cook in our broth. Check it out. This is the last step for our pozole, to put the paste into the broth. So congratulations, you just made pozole! Here you go! I know this is so exciting, but we're not done just yet. We need to get our garnishes ready. Where I'm from, we consume pozole with lettuce, but some people like cabbage instead. And my lady, she's from Ukraine, so cabbage is a must for us. So we'll have lettuce, cabbage, radishes, lemon. We also like to have chopped cilantro and onions. But seriously, if you made it this far, I really want to congratulate you. Feel free to come back to this video anytime. For each time you watch this, our recipe that we are sharing with you with so much love, you'll only get better at it. So please like and subscribe if you have found any value out of this one. Now check this out, you're done. Now it's time to enjoy this tasty pozole with that special person or people you want to impress. Now it's time for the last test. Buen provecho.
So, try. Mexican Pozole from San Luis Potosí. Is it good? Ukrainian ready?
Ukrainian ready.
There we go.
I will put some onions. I wanna try it.
Careful with the bones. Viva Mexico!
Viva! Thank you.